Have you ever walked into like a massive sports bar or maybe a high-tech command center and you just look up at those gigantic video
Oh
walls?
yeah, the ones where it's like a dozen screens acting as one single image.
Exactly, and they're perfectly synced. You just have to wonder, how does that not instantly crash or lag?
It honestly feels like magic.
Mm-hmm.
But, behind the scenes, there's actually a highly specialized piece of hardware making that whole illusion happen.
Right. Which brings us to today's deep dive. We are unpacking the product specs for the Smart-AVI MXWALL-UHD-S 4K video wall processor and matrix switch.
That is definitely a mouthful of a name.
Yeah, it really is. But our mission today is cutting through all that dense AV jargon to uncover the actual brain behind these mid-sized video walls. So where do we even start?
Well, to understand how the wall works, we first have to look at how this hardware manages the incoming data. Basically, it takes 8 HDMI 2.0 inputs and routes them to 8 HDMI outputs.
Okay, let's unpack this because it's not just a basic traffic cop waving cars through an intersection, right? It's more like a real-time United Nations translator.
Oh, I like that. The UN analogy is spot on.
Yeah, because you have 8 distinct delegates, say a laptop, a cable box, and a security camera, and they are all shouting completely different languages at the exact same time.
Right, and this processor listens to all 8, instantly translates them, and directs perfectly articulated speeches to 8 separate headsets without even a millisecond of delay. It actively standardizes the signal.
And I mean, some of those delegates are speaking much poorer languages, right? You can have a grainy, decade-old DVD feed running right next to a pristine 4K sports broadcast.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is how this solves the ultimate AV headache. It forces mismatched, lower quality video sources to display perfectly on pristine 4K screens.
Because just stretching a 1080p image to fit a 4K screen would look terrible.
Totally unwatchable. So that brings up the device's true aha feature, the integrated scaler. When an old signal comes in, it uses algorithms to mathematically guess and invent, really, millions of missing pixels in real time.
Wow.
Yeah, it analyzes the colors and edges and interpolates what the blank spaces should look like, forcing everything up to full UHD 4K, which is 3840 by 2160 at 60 Hz.
So it's artificially generating detail just so the system doesn't have to freeze or drop the signal while switching between a low-res feed and a high-end stream.
Precisely. And once you have that standardized 4K picture, the device lets you arrange the physical screens in basically unlimited layouts via a Windows GUI.
Like you could stack your 8 screens in a 2x4 grid or a long 1x8 ribbon, whatever you need. But wait, the manufacturer's spec sheet boldly claims this whole setup is strictly plug and play, and I really have to push back on that.
Really? Why is that?
Well, look at the control options. They list TCP/IP network commands, which requires configuring IP addresses over a local network. And RS-232, I mean, that's old school serial communication.
Oh yeah, where you have to match specific baud rates just to get two machines talking.
Right. Plug and play implies you plug it in and it just works like a computer mouse. This seems way more complex.
I mean, marketing teams in commercial AV love the phrase plug and play because the basic video routing might work right out of the box.
But if you actually want to use those network protocols,
Exactly. If you want to switch layouts remotely or integrate it into a larger control system, you need specialized IT knowledge. A consumer can't just buy this, plug in a few cables, and expect a sports bar command center to magically run itself.
so requiring that level of specialized networking knowledge completely rules out the average consumer, which tells us exactly who the target audience really is.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, you see that reflected right in the cost. Available via HDTVSupply, the MSRP is $7,999.
Ouch. Though I saw it's currently priced at about $5,599, and it includes a 1-year Smart-AVI warranty.
Right, so it's a serious investment bridging a massive market gap. It's way too expensive and complex for a living room, obviously.
But far cheaper than the $100,000 enterprise arrays used by major television broadcasters. It's the heavy-duty UN translator for a regional security center or maybe a corporate lobby.
Stud on. It needs to run flawlessly around the clock, and professionals are willing to pay for that stability over just user-friendly simplicity.
Which leaves you with a really fun question to ponder. If you suddenly had the commercial hardware, the IT chops, and the budget for an 8-screen 4K matrix in your own home, how would you customize the layout to completely revolutionize how you learn and consume information?
Oh man, just think about the sheer amount of data you could synthesize simultaneously. But you'd better upgrade your home internet first, or all that pristine 4K scaling won't have any data to actually process.
The ultimate multitasking dream. Keep that in mind next time you're at the sports bar.